ear. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the Genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm. Have it thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the green. I'm a player on the late night tip. So they see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. To the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still feel me.
Coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw is Brissett. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Throwing, Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll drop the throw. That's complete. Bernard. And now the juke. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Brissett now on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A gain of of 19 and picking up the first. From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play that time for the Colts. 46 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Gun, Brissett. And he Floats one there, incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other. They're saying we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 6-yard carry. It does put him just a few yards short of the goal line, but 4th down coming up.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Back to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Second down, Brissett. His throw incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
On third down, Brissett. This is Johnson. He's got it. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Hines, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Sean Williams that time in on the stop. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defensive front is cover the interior offensive lineman, the center, and the 2 guards, and make it difficult if you even want to think about running the ball inside. If you can control them, that allows the linebackers and the safeties to run free and get to the ball carriers. And that play worked really well. No gain.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. First down, Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Hines. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He can run for it, and he will. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
Now, that was a designed run. Now, remember, if a quarterback goes feet first, he's protected. But if he dives head first, he's not. On that play, he figured the risk was worth the reward.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. They run with Hines. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A second down throw for Brissett. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carlos Dunlap able to drop him for a loss of a couple. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Flex round! Ohio!
Brissett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He'll look to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop the throw. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Got a man open, it's Ross. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. They go play action here on first down. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown, as his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. The point after is good, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
This fielded at the 2. And he's got some space here. And he nearly took it the distance. What a great return. He stopped right around the 3.
All praises for a tremendous return, but how about the guys that never gave up on the play, refused to let him get into the end zone, and tracked him down before he got there and made the tackle? A lot of pride exhibited by guys on special teams.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. He's going to get it running right. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Brissett on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off. Just as we saw there.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up first and 10.
Lucky 56.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete to Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. He'll look to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green, his 6th touchdown of the season. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Brissett. Looking deep for Hilton. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. Johnson with a completion over the middle. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Brissett now on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw, Brissett. And he connects with Ebron. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing, Brissett. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things in.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jabal Sheard in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Back now in Indianapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Ohio! Ohio! Switch!
They go play action with Brissett. He gets it left side of Johnson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Second down, Brissett. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. First and 10, Brissett caught left side by Hilton. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
This is Hines. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that's complete. It's Green here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. He'll drop to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Black round! Black round!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Dancing to it, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Brissett. And his throw here's incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Colts on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
Yeah, they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Colts, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
G go too fast. I don't need wear no seatbelt. Bad look, got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is little baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'm scoring. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsches. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm torching. Had the fish on my teeth, I went porcelain. Put the ton on my back, I'm a horseman. One more year, I'm gonna make it a Forbes. They load me in the bed like he 40. I be sitting inside of the Moreland. Ain't no screens attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it for it. Man, it can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, it can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you. All of these my body, I got pissed. Somebody keep checking my pose. Walking in club with no one to take care of the money. They swing on the. Water on me like the sunny. I shine when it's sunny. This platinum and rose. Gonna out the street when I go to DC. I'ma see the mall. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Tryna spend the whole M on some clothes. Got up on this, I sold out the show. Got out like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that wet on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, then sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer. Straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element. Out my element. My the same. Don't need no clout, no fame. No clout. Bought the game. All brand new chain. I swerve the lane. Call the group the gang. Whip that thing. Whip it. This shit give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it. Bring the. Don't want no. They pull up with that. It's times three. This how it go. Park $1 million at the. We gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs and PJs. Rich like water, go to Cabo. Flash. Cash in the walls, hollow. Cash. Your money too small, micro. Huncho on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dub, freeze, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone. Turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known. That is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. Yeah, the clinics, but that baby wipe this nose. I wipe this nose. What's a leg with till they explode?
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
All set. Race with the stars out. Not a boarded house. Get deported out. Moved out for a shot. Marvin the Martian. I'ma put your brain up for auction. Proceed with caution. Skeleton AP is frosted. I sit back and read the offense. Was it did it the falsest? Chanel bag is ostrich. Stay down, come up in the process. Private jet, yeah. The same diamond milk, yeah. I'ma keep the on welfare. The pink stone real. Bling bling blow, yeah. Mama got style, yeah. Chanel reptile player. On Mars, gotta get the grace of the God. 3 rock stars, nobody seeing the gang on guard.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. now she go, for the team, now she don't ski, splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers.
Money back, money back, money back. Make it like a money back, money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? When I look at my snap, I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Hey. Okay. Okay. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pocket too big, they sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pocket too big, they sumo. 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 Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you Curry get the flame calling Prince Zuko.
Swimming through the money like a flounder. Hold up. I just want the knowledge and the power. Hold up. Why the looking at me sour? Eat it like chowder. Rada. Never gave a about a dollar. More money mean more problems. Pray for me to fall like autumn. Cause I got it on my own with no help, man. Got a daddy, that's it, in myself, man. They need a new hope. Deliver new. Giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be E.T.? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pocket through beat Rakishi. Pocket through big, they sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo.